Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Dead Cells. This game has been annoying me a little bit lately, which is actually a nice change of pace. I lost another run off camera, for real, I know. How embarrassing. I have so many scrapped, like, 11 to 18 minute Dead Cells episodes that I don't publish because they're not good. Out of respect for you guys, I'm keeping those, like, under wraps. Well, I've already, at this point, definitely deleted them. But the point is, like, they've made the game harder. And that's great. And it's frustrating me because my expectations are, why am I getting worse at a game that I've played more of? It's because the human mind doesn't understand the concept of balance patches on an evolutionary level, I think. But what I'm going to do this time is just whatever it takes... Focus on, yeah, I'm gonna test that route, but whatever it takes, focus on just improving the confidence here. So this run is, I do this in Isaac all the time. This run's about improving our confidence. We've already got a great build with 3 things that synergize with one another. Wow! Dun, 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 dun. I'm so mad, but I have a smile on my face, which is the intended emotion, I guess. So we're gonna go probably like sewers, Black Bridge is my guess. Like, the ossuary has gotten harder. I don't want to get into it, but my expectation right now is that the slashers have become... Maybe it's just been the builds that I've been rocking on these failed episodes, but the slashers have become like 80 times more annoying than they used to be. And I'm still basically under the impression that half of the equipment in Dead Cells is basically unusable, which I don't necessarily hate. Because it helps is what I mean to say. No, it helps keep you focused on the stuff that's actually good. And the stuff that's good universally, the stuff that's good situationally, and then the stuff that's good never. Like the Blood Shield, which I believe is good never. But anyway. I think it's like half and half. Dude, I don't want to pay $1,000 for this. Straight up. I know we can actually curse ourselves by like kicking open the door. Just don't know if I want to invite that evil into my life at the present moment. It'd probably be fine. But yeah, I feel like the quality of my runs has gotten a lot worse lately. And I think that half of it is like my own failure while playing, and half of it is like the game's actually gotten harder, and then, you know, there's a third half in there somewhere, which is like, you know, a little bit of morale. So I'm going to try to compromise for that morale concern right now, and take things a little easier without going the super easy route, because the super easy route is not always the best possible solution. Can pretty easily lead to us being underpowered. As of right now, though, I'm loving this like setup we've got here. I'm gonna go for a skill build, I think, even though I do like our existing strength. Or our existing, like, weapons, I should say. But yeah, I'm not gonna go maybe no, we've done one that went to the promenade already, and that's the one that went to the Watcher. Alright. It takes a mental toll. You might be saying, why not on those episodes? I do love this. Is there any way we could find a way to inflict bleed or burning? Sure, let's pierce, because, like... The thing is, Frostblast is so good that I want to buy it, but I think we'll stay away and just go sewers. It's like a mental thing, right? So you spend 20 minutes on an episode, you die, it's too short to put up, and it subverts people's expectations. They expect, you know, a certain amount of entertainment, and you don't provide it, and justifiably that makes some people angry, and some people quietly are just like, I wish this was longer, and some people are like, it's totally fine. But I don't really want to sit here and record for 1 hour and 20 minutes for a single video of Dead Cells. Like, take a break for 5 minutes, walk outside, drink some water, and then come back and not stare at like the same 20 screens for a second. But it's weird, because I'm like, I'm conflicted. I almost want Dead Cells to be longer. so that you can justify, like, doing episodes in 2 parts and having, like, a little more ownership over the run. You might say that's, like, not what you're interested in. I think it would be fine. Dude, extra damage on a bleeding target. Nice. I think it would be fine. Like, we did FTL episodes in 2 parts, and it went totally fine. It's just it's the price of doing business, basically, on these long roguelites. Not every roguelite is under 45 minutes per run. Now, of course, when you get as good at Gungeon as Austin is, he's started to be able to, like, beat a run of Gungeon consistently in, like, 40 minutes, which I'm very jealous of. We never reached that point, despite, like, genuinely, sincerely trying. Dude, I'm so happy that we're getting skills here. Well, we're getting HP to be more specific, but the concept of skills seems so secure. Let me pick this up, please. Thank you. Moreover, I just think, like, I have to untilt myself. It's been a long day of recording, and I'm always... Like, Roundtable was canceled today, so essentially I had my whole Friday to just do whatever the heck I wanted. And I was like, that's good, because I'm going to be away, so I'll record a bunch of dead cells. And then you lose a couple of episodes because you get tilted. It makes you more tilted, makes you more likely to die early. And it's an embarrassing thing for an adult man to have to admit that he's getting tilted by a video game. But it is the honest-to-goodness truth as well. So you know what? As far as I'm concerned, that's the sign of an update well done. And it added a lot more longevity, and I gotta be honest, the "Hello Darkness, my old friend" tagline is not incorrect. So we'll buy skills. That's a no-brainer. This gives us more skills, but at the cost of our own skills. So you see the problem here. I don't know. I like the guaranteed crit that we have right now, and there's more HP. I like the guaranteed crit that we have right now, and I don't really see a good desire to mix it up. Basically, if we pop off on an enemy, with everything we got, there's nothing they can do. We're at level 4 HP already. There's no joke. Every extra level of that matters a great deal. And now the game's got me tempted, and this is its true insidious nature laid bare in front of you. It makes me now... That was bad. It makes me now want to go to the ossuary, because I look at this and I go, this run's pretty good. Don't believe its lies. Trying to get into your head. It's trying to say, you're pretty good at this game. Wow, you should go do the hard mode. No, I will not go do the hard mode, okay? I'm happy where I am. I would like... Lucky dodge. I would like lower cooldowns, please, on my skills, and apart from that, I'm like the world's happiest camper, if you could just give me that. You ever think, like, we've been in the sewers for so long, like that archer and this ugly worm, their name, not mine, have created, like, a bond. I'm not saying there's anything, like, you know, romantic going on between them, just a bond like a coworker or some, you know, light friends might have. You've seen, or you've sat next to them, you know, in the same cubicle for, like, 10 years, and then all of a sudden, you know, in your sewer tunnel, also not that I mean anything romantic with the phrase sewer tunnel, some, you know, jerk comes in, throws a couple of daggers at him, and then hits him with a death orb from another freaking dimension. That would shock you, dude. Shocks me a little bit just thinking about it. Am I the bad guy here? I almost straight up got hit there. Because I am an idiot moron, man. Sometimes in Dead Cells specifically. So we've only got 55 seconds left. That's not a lot of time. No! Who can say where the wind blows? I'm not like bitter about it, but I just want to. Could you, like, what if the challenge rooms were just like a little easier? The danger with making something easy is that it becomes, you know, so automatic that it might as well just be an item room, right? I understand that. There's a roguelite curse in there somewhere. But still, I don't consider myself a horrible Dead Cells player, which maybe is my own personal flaw, but I don't consider myself a horrible Dead Cells player. We've succeeded on one of these rooms in 40-something episodes, so... Embarrassing for me, which is definitely the thing that game developers should concern themselves with the most, is will this make Northernlion look like a fool? And if it does, take it out of your game. Or else. Or else. Plus extra damage on a bleeding target. But it's extra... Why would you want extra damage on the bleeding target when you could get a crit? Well, the answer is because this has way more damage to begin with. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Doesn't seem substantially better, but that was also, like, unaided, basically, right there. So let's continue exploring here. Finding all these secret paths. I like the new sewers, man. It gives you a lot of opportunities for branching out. Ooh, there's a shop or something up there. We need a run that is good financially as well to get our economy set up again, because we kind of screwed it up. Cluster bombs. Extra damage on a burning target, and enemies burn when they die, but we have such good bleed synergy right now, it's hard for me to say no here. And they want me to leave the floor, or at least I think we've hit like almost every available exit at this point, so... Not quite, but close. I don't really want to go for cursed chests at this point. I'm fairly happy with our loadout. Yeah, we're done with the floor. I'm fairly happy with our loadout, and I don't want to go down to the next floor and like immediately have to kill 10 new enemies without having any damage applied to me. That's my goal. My goal is for that not to happen. So I don't think I've done the old sewers since the patch. Since the update. A patch seems like almost a backhanded way to phrase it. The toxic sewers went totally fine. Ah, look, they've changed the level geography a little bit. What a world. Any minute now, thank you. They've changed the level geography. What does that mean? It means that if you're a real stickler for the fact that the world fits together logically, which a lot of people are, then this is going to be a positive for you, I suppose, although also probably largely irrelevant to the gameplay experience. You know what it actually means is that it wears its Dark Souls influence and inspiration a little bit more honestly on its sleeve, I guess is a good way to put that. A little bit more platforming down here. Not sure if it's more than usual, but more than on the previous sewer for sure. So we're trying to go for a skill-focused build. There's no doubt about that. We don't have the greatest setup for a skill-focused build. It's pretty good, but I think generally speaking our weapon is like a little bit more impressive than our equipment right now, so throws a grenade and freezes enemies. Basically irrelevant. So I'm looking for more spammable skills, or the alternative is just keep getting more and more skills upgrades and then use those skills upgrades. More of that, dude. Use those skills upgrades to get so much damage applied to your skills that doesn't matter how small the cooldown is. I'm liking the synergies, though. Okay, we have a door. It's expensive, but it's a broadsword, so I'll check it. Unfortunately, no bleed synergy. Doesn't make it unusable. Makes it less usable. The broadsword's sometimes a little dicey to begin with. We could use better throwing daggers. These so frequently have plus HP or plus skills on them, or plus strength, I guess. They so frequently have attributes, I guess. Dude, we're getting stacked here. 524 is a pretty good build to be at before the Black Bridge. And dude, 2,000 gold for his skills upgrade, 525? This is like, it's not quite almost as good as that run like 3 runs ago where we got to the Watcher, but it's almost as good. So we're actually 526. The difference, the reason it's not quite almost as good, better throwing knives, oh my lord, is because that run had more strength, which didn't really help us out that much. That's not very smart of me. This run is like the perfect run for a confidence improvement, though, is the way it's seeming to look so far. Yeah, don't do that. So assuming this leads to the Black Bridge, I think we've got an unbelievable chance against that boss, but that should be more or less 100% obvious at this point. So a magnetic grenade with Death Orb really works. It holds the enemies in place while the orb just destroys them. But it's tough to justify this over the one that gives us the bleed effect, but I'll tell you what, we'll give it a try. Because it is a Knife Storm level 1. I know I said, like, I don't care what the magnitude of the item is, but I do care to some extent. If it's level 1, I think I force myself to care. We do still have a way to inflict bleed, it's just not a great way. Not a great way to inflict bleed on multiple enemies, I guess. Unless, nah, it doesn't fire a piercing shot. This honestly seems a lot better. And I would have expected the opposite because, again, what's my motto? Lately it's been synergy above all, and synergy above all has largely worked out extremely well for me. I think in this case, synergy above most. We could also use them separately, like, also seems to completely get the job done. I'm hoping there's more scrolls. Dude, I don't know if I want to fight elite enemies anymore. Here's a change that I would make, and it'd be very simple, but I think it would improve the balance of these guys. Make them give you a guaranteed scroll, because as of the present moment, annoying the Christ out of me, and not really consistently giving me anything good. You know, quite frequently giving me something that I would describe as having essentially zero value. Like, for example, a shield that poisons enemies when we parry. Not mad, just saying. When the game was easier, the elite enemies were more justifiable to fight because of the fact that, you know, they were basically just spam them down and there's nothing to complain about. Now they're a little bit easier to complain about because of the fact that they're much harder to kill, at least I think, unless I've just mind-flooded myself into believing that. I feel like the magnetic grenade has gotten a buff or something, like... Feels stronger than I remember. Dude, the amount of scrolls is absurd. So the run, again, is... I wouldn't say it's fairly well balanced, which is good. It's actually imbalanced in a way that's productive for us. 3 strength still allows us to, basically, in my opinion, be on par with the enemies that we're facing right now. In that department, but we're outclassing them in like a major way. I think these are too expensive to warrant purchasing. For the most part, there's a couple of different upgrades I'll pay for in the pendant department. I'll pay for respawn, no doubt. This inflicts bleed, which is maybe really valuable. 366. Because what do we have that helps with bleed? Causes, well, The thing is, you got critical hit when you're below 50% that does extra damage against bleeds. Okay, you gotta think about it. Curse Sword is not usable. I stand by to this day. I'm gonna take it because the bleed stacks are worth some damage. Are we done with this floor, by the way? Yeah, we're actually, like, completely done with it. So, there is an amulet up here, which we can get for free. If we can get an amulet for free, we would be stupid not to. Yeah, that's fine. So that's basically why I didn't want to pay for it. Because I'll pay for an extra life, or an extra respawn, basically, which is more or less an extra heal. But I still think it's worth it. I will pay for, that's like video insurance, the extra life. I'll pay for 30% damage reduction, but apart from that, give me some stuff on the house, and it's all the same to me, basically. So I think we got, like, very, very, very good potential here. We're 20 minutes into the episode. I feel my confidence coming back. I try to strike that balance between being disappointed by my performance, but also still trying to be entertaining. It's not like, I know you're watching this not just to see me succeed, you're watching this to be entertained, and I've never lost sight of that. Although, you know, not all videos are created equal, obviously. It's just the nature of the beast. But it's not about me conquering dead cells, necessarily. What released that toxic cloud? It's about the entertainment value. At least that's the intention. So we're just, this dude is getting cut up. And not in like a, you know, fitness sort of way. I mean, this guy is getting sliced. Like an orange. Please tell me that is the last phase of your shield, and then we, what in the world happened there? I refuse to heal. That's a terrible idea. You should definitely heal. Alright, so he'll be dead. Not my best fight against the incomplete one, but also still totally fine. So, gold's in a decent situation. You know, if we live, we get to take 20,000 on the next run. If we lose, well, for now at least. If we lose, we don't. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I like that the architecture seems a little bit more deliberate now, too. Like, what's going on up here? That must be the closed, the timed door, I mean to suggest. The timed door. In the time door with the watcher waiting later. You know what would be a nice quality of life change for me? Because I'm an idiot. Is, you know you can't leave while having cells? Why not put the healing thing in that room and not let you leave until you've used it, if you have to use it? You know what I mean? There have been times where I've forgotten to use it. There's been times where I haven't had to use it as well. Dude, the magnetic grenade, I haven't looked up the patch notes this specifically. I'm telling you, like, 10 out of 10, it got buffed. It's so much stronger. It used to do, like, no damage to enemies. Now it's, like, 100 damage per second. So we have a balanced blade. It's tempting. Knife Storm 5. 371 damage per second. I like this combo is the thing, though. It was only like a week ago I was super excited about the fact that we had like a Death Orb magnetic grenade combo to begin with, and now I'm like, we're gonna swap it out? No way, son. I respect the value of the Knife Storm more than most, I think. I think I alternate between saying Knife Storm and Knife Swarm as well. But you know what? If you can't handle me in my most incorrect, you don't deserve me in my most correct. Is it our pendant? Yeah, you release a toxic cloud when you take damage. It's actually, like, pretty okay. By the way, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I'm not sure if enemies got tankier down here, but we seem to not be killing them as quickly as we used to. Maybe just me. Maybe it's Maybelline. You know what? I'll pay 1,000 for a little HP. That's fine by me. That's a deal as far as I'm concerned. Peace of mind. I want more spammable skills, or the alternative is more synergistic skills, because these are working, but maybe we can make them work even better. Nice try, you almost got me. Just kidding. Senorita, I'm kidding. Let's get out of here. Get down to business to defeat the Huns. I wouldn't dare besmirch the good name of Donny Osmond by trying to sing his most famous of jams from the 1998 film Mulan. Extra damage on a burning target. Cursed sword is not takeable. Enemies burn when they die. So we can enable burning. But I actually don't think that somebody did link me, or not link me. They tweeted me and said that the torch is actually not that bad. It's just one of those things that for now I'm gonna have to take your word on, because the one time I had the torch, it seemed that bad. They did say that you need like the right kind of build to enable it, so I may have just not had the right kind of build to enable it, admittedly. Dude, I'm just gonna call it. The magnetic grenade is actually the new hotness. I'm so confident it's been buffed, despite not even looking at it in the patch notes, because before I would get it and I'm like, it's like a weird pseudo bear trap. Now I'm like, this is the strongest, like, item mankind has ever seen. Also, the frames are horrible. Got a lot of effects coming out at once. I give him some sympathy for that. I think we should heal up. So I don't feel much more confident since coming down to the fjord, because we haven't gotten any raw stats upgrades. But I do think, you know, every floor that you go to where the build that you're rocking continues to work, you're in a decent spot. So we have an oil grenade with a swarm of biters. It's actually not that bad. Even without fire, being able to create a swarm of biters like every couple of seconds, theoretically, is pretty good. Let's go. I actually don't care at all about taking damage, basically. Maybe I should. Just hasn't seemed to be like that big of a deal so far. How many stacks of bleed do you need, dude? You know you're going down. Save us all the trouble. So we got another level of skills. That's, at least for where the game is at now, that's endgame level skills. We need 2 levels of HP, ideally, because one of our levels is tied to our equipment right now, but I would settle with 1 level. Extra damage on a burning target. I don't know. I mean, the Death Orb is actually completely fine right now, even though it's only Death Orb 3. It does 1,000 damage per second, which is really where you're getting the principal value from there. I think we got this one. I think we've got this one up to the Watcher, at least. And if the game goes further than that now, then we'll have to rethink things. But for now, strikes me as, like, completely okay. Unless the Watcher's been drastically changed. I can't remember. It was like 4 hours ago I had my last Watcher fight. Which in the whole scheme of things doesn't seem like much. But when you've had a lot of middling runs in the interim period, you might feel differently. Take this time to heal up, and also, like, Alt-Tab. Do I have, like, a million Skype messages that are causing this lag? Or at least precluding this lag? Close that up. Okay, maybe that'll help. Not really. For once, it's not your fault, Skype. I'm sorry I blamed you. Well, we got a pretty... it's much more likely that the cause of the lag is actually the fact that we're firing, like, infinity things that all have status effects tied to them, but... I had to check, of course. So the most... Actually, I was going to say the most likely candidate for improvement on this run is the throwing knives, but I'm not 100% convinced about that anymore. We got toxic, bleeding, death orbs. You know, there's electricity shooting out from time to time. But it is getting... the performance is getting not so great. But, I don't know. I think that probably the most likely candidate for improvement is actually the death orb, honestly. The magnetic grenade is mission critical. I cannot get rid of it. It does so much damage to enemies, even when those enemies are not... like, basically even close to where the grenade is, that I just can't not take it. So, with that in mind... How did we dodge that? How... I apologize, by the way, for the quality of the video on the screen right now. There is, like, a graphical option... Yeah, I think that might help us out a little bit. It leads to like a little bit of a variable frame rate, but in practice, at least, removing VSync in games sometimes can improve performance, so. We could also get rid of the, that guy actually gave up on life. We could get rid of the, throwing knives. Replace them with something else. That extra scroll is so useful. Not because they're bad, but because we almost... They've been, like, grandfathered out of the run. They have no reason to exist on this run anymore. Throws a grenade, enemies burn when they die. It is more damage. I think we gotta accept that this might be the way to go, even though it doesn't inflict the stacks of bleed. I like the moveset on the twin daggers, and moreover, probably like 80% of our damage is gonna be done by... Well, that's that. 80% of our damage or so is gonna be done by our skills anyway. And we are, at present, at... endgame levels for our stats, which is obviously exceptional. Now, some of it is tied to the magnet grenade, right? The magnet grenade is not going anywhere. It would take a better magnet grenade, which would require that it has a +1 skill in that department or another one to begin with, so the odds of us losing that +1 HP are essentially nil, in my opinion. Ooh, talk nerdy to me. No, but, like, sincerely, that's not, it's not gonna happen. The death orb is liable to be replaced, no doubt. Whether it's replaced now or in the future, we shall see. And by in the future, I mean, I guess never, because this is the last floor before the boss fight. But anyway, so you guys are going to be annoying, but then the magnet grenade should continue to earn its place by destroying you, so, like, that's pretty swell. Yeah, this is good. This is like my tryout for the throwing grenades. Or throwing knives, sorry. Throwing grenades is an expression that doesn't really make sense. Should I spec up? Or should I just keep throwing grenades? Yes. Shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the chance. And the money is all, like, pretty good. And Magnet Grenade Biter has got me thinking, actually. It's got a faster recharge time. Enemies are going to be stuck in place. I want to give it a shot. Oh, jeez. So, I don't really want to leave you guys alone up top. It seems to be working. Whether or not it's working better or worse than the alternative remains to be seen. Okay, curse lifted. I don't know. I'm kind of buying into it. Now, the thing is, I think it's going to be like a lot worse against the Watcher specifically. And that's not really as much raw damage as I would have expected there. We did just give up something that does 1,000 damage per second, though. You know, use the rest of the floor as a tryout. See how you like it. The thing with the biters is that they're going to output way less damage. Yeah, wait, where's the selling feature of this again? They're going to output way less damage, but you can use them 15% faster. The poison is actually pretty nice as well. At least we got rid of the curse, so we can always rethink this later. Bloodsword 7. It's less damage, but it gives you the bleed, and enemies explode. I like them all. I know that the Death Orb also had the bleed synergy. Basically, I'm worrying if I'm mind flooding myself out of the proper item, basically, by thinking like, oh, Biter Swarm is way more prestigious than having like a level 3 upgrade at this point in our life, which may or may not be relevant at all. Obviously, like, not the right way to handle that. You know, there is, like, a case of it, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, you know? First off, heal up. That was pretty bad. Secondly, dude, the money situation. Real nice, congratulations. Thirdly, go back, get that Death Orb. Run to her. We still have every available chance to go back for this item. The Death Orb, it's better. It makes no sense to swap it out for something that is actually, like, considerably worse for us in this situation. Which is obvious. I mean, everybody with the half a brain probably saw it but me, but still. By the way, you'd probably use a teleporter here, but we could use this time to walk and talk. This has been a little bit of a faster run than normal, which is kind of surprising. I guess the lack of going ossuary prison depths has kind of sped it up a little bit, weirdly enough. Which is good, because lightens the load on my vocal cords to some extent. Not that I have the hardest job in the world, I'm just saying. That's a lot of dead cells. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if it's better, but considering the Death Orb actually does like more than 1,400 damage per second, it's really hard to pass it up. I think the Blood Sword was actually the right call, and the Magnet Grenade is still like a superstar right now, but yeah, I think this was sensible. We could probably kill these guys without ever going down there, but it would take us a little extra time. So don't forget about the don't forget about the extra loot over here. It's a blood shield. Wow, but it's a blood shield that fires an arrow. AKA, it's a useless item. But it's the only one I got. Da, 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 da. Keep up the good work. Okay. We've got the process. It feels refreshing to get back to it. Even though it was good to get away. It's good to know we still got the solution. that as much as Dead Cells has changed, at least up to this point, we've got exactly what we need to get. There's only 2 teleporters on the surface, man. But what I mean to suggest is that, you know, the things that worked in Dead Cells before still work now. There's just a little bit more choice, a little more customizability. The option to go to a level that is like the Dead Money DLC from Fallout New Vegas, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to quote-unquote master that, but I wouldn't bank on it happening anytime in the very near future. But then now we've got, you know, we got a mix of things we can do, you know? We don't just have to, like, focus on being an arrogant dick. No, I'm so much better than Dead Cells, I can streak forever. Now we actually have, like, a process to work towards. How are you not dead? Just die. You should be dead 20 times over. So we have 1 heal left. We should be careful, but I would be very surprised if we don't make it to the Watcher on this run. I don't know, I still look at the phaser as if there's any chance I'm gonna take it. Hitting the 8th level of HP, very, very nice. 1100 HP makes it fairly tough to die. But life and death sometimes find a way. Playing pretty sloppy, by the way. Like, for the most part, I don't think there's any reason we should be taking damage in all of our encounters. Some of our encounters, sure, yeah. I mean, you're never going to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. It's unreasonable. However, we're taking more damage than we should. Wow, another upgrade. We're just going to go straight for skills, like... Seems like a bad idea to mess that up. How do you live so long with the poison and the 20 stacks of nonsense I put on you? I'm gonna go for skills, because skills, you know, it's a multiplicative damage bonus. So every upgrade we get subsequent in any given category, that upgrade is always the biggest upgrade we've ever gotten in that category. So our, whatever percentage of our goodness right now that you can attribute to our level ups is only going to get better here with each passing level. I'm going to heal just to be on the safe side, but it's possibly a terrible decision. Not as bad as almost getting hit by that 3rd attack would have been, though. I'm stunned that these enemies are putting up with this abuse. But I should play more conservatively, like wait for your cooldowns. See, like you're playing with fire here. And who do you think you are? Kevin Federline? It's the title of his album. Most of you are saying who? Kevin Federline, Britney Spears' one-time husband for like 6 weeks. Hello? Am I the only one here who watches the news? How? No, I don't buy it. How did your hook hit me? It's not nonsensical, but it's just unsensible. So we're getting pretty deep here. That's good. We're getting pretty low here. Phrasing. This is why I changed that, but it's important because that means we're probably closing in on the exit. And the exit's important because I really think, like, we got like a 20 out of 10 chance to... Where are you coming from? Like, just get out of here. We got like a 20 out of 10 chance to kill the boss. We might die if we explore this entire floor. Of course, I hope that's not the case. But I would not be surprised. We don't need an oil grenade. Don't be ridiculous. There is something to be said about the electric whip. But I don't really believe that. I'm just saying that Because the electric whip, we're not really using our throwing daggers, and we're definitely not going to need them against the boss, and we can poison enemies. But our strength is, like, basically irrelevant. So what do we care about making sure that our damage is, like, peaked in all those departments to begin with? Alright. Already, I would consider this episode a success. I would prefer if we beat the Watcher. But I've already gotten my confidence back, at least. And hopefully Dead Cells has become, like, a more interesting series to watch as a result of the fact that it's become more difficult. I hope that's the case. Just a god-awful use of Death Orb. So we're not doing as much damage as I'd like. The Magnetic Grenade and the Death Orb are both somewhat tough to pop against the Watcher himself, but should absolutely crap on the tentacles. And of course, it works better when they're actually up, but I hate that they can avoid bleed damage and also bleed off their bleed ticks while they're underground. That makes no sense to me. But again, minor gripes. Minor gripes. In order for us to, you know, achieve our dreams to the highest degree possible here, I think we really need to land the Death Orb. The Magnetic Grenade is kind of a crapshoot on the Watcher, but it's doing something. But the Death Orb is like the maddest of all mad money. I'm so glad we stuck with this. Oh, if that had just hit on the next platform up, I'd be very happy. Gotta be honest, your constant movement is getting annoying. Okay, this is where the moneymaker comes in. Even just the toxic effect is, like, very good at hurting these guys. And once you get one of them, because of the nature of these damage effects... Oh, that was bad. You've probably gotten many of them. Or you've got many of them close, at least. We will heal after this, but I don't think we have to, necessarily. Just wait for one more to get dusted here. Okay, heal up. Again, it seems like we got, like, every available chance to succeed here. If I'm leveling with you, Magnetic Grenade does not really hold you in place the way I thought it would. We're styling on the Watcher here. This is like an ideal situation. Good stuff. Okay, smack him. Smack him and jack him. That's not what I meant to say there. I meant jack as in carjack. Oh, that's gonna hurt. It did not hurt. When you fell from heaven. Good, yeah. Keep an eye. Maybe we should hang out, like, close to the edge on one of those screens. Like, one of the sides of the screen, I should say. That way we'll always know if it's coming from that side, and if it's not coming from that side, then we'll have the longest conceivable time to get out of the way. Might be overthinking a run that is, like, almost certainly a win here, though. That was lucky. Why would you ever try this fight with a strength build? I'm not... If it works for you, then, dude, more power to you. But why would you do this run with a strength build? The skill build just works so easily. helps when you can drop a death orb, like, literally inside of his body. So we're just gonna heal up, and sure, we got hit while healing. We still have 2 heals left, I think. He's actually beyond dusted. Oh, that's a perfect place for you to stand. Don't let me discourage you. Okay, confidence returns. Confidence returned. Was it a successful run? I don't know. The wharf might have access right now. We might actually be able to progress from this point onwards. But at least we got our sea legs back. We've proven you can still beat dead cells on the new update. A little bit perturbed at how long it took me to get back here after having some decent success in the first run on the new update. But dude, ho ho ho, yeah, okay. So we can't beat this. Not yet, but still, success. I am thankful. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.